What's up, everyone? First YouTube video. Got the new camera. We're gonna go into all of our new equipment, and yeah. So if this is your first time watching and listening to the Because We Can podcast, welcome. We started out at school studio, actually my room, and just the some standard equipment, just like my computer, and now went to the studio. Now we're in my study. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm excited to introduce all this new equipment and introduce YouTube.
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy journey. As Chris said, we started out on just a laptop, then we moved to one singular microphone that we split in a room between 3 people, and you could hear all the outside noise and everything. And then studio, and then now we're in our own studio. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. It's been less than 6 months since we started, and here we are. So I'm really excited to see where this takes us, because I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, a little mobile studio.
Yep.
So I guess we'll go into the equipment that we got.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so obviously we have mics. There's 2 mics here today. We have 2 additional ones for the guests that we'll have on the show, so we can have up to 4 people at a time. We have 2 nice bright lights. We have mic stands. Obviously, there's 4 of those for each mic, or 4 stands total, 1 for each mic. And then we have, it's called a Scarlett 4i4. That's the recording interface. We got all the cables necessary. Obviously, the camera. What's the model of the camera? I don't even remember.
It's a Sony ZV-1.
Sony ZV-1. Perfect. Everything is very high quality. We had a little bit of difficulty getting set up, but it was our first time, so should be totally good from here on out. And yeah, if you guys want to see what everything looks like, we'll be posting a little video of everything on our Instagram, so go check that out. It's BC We Can Pod, so we'll link that down below.
Yeah, check us out on Instagram. Let's talk about I'll talk about how I got the camera, right? So initially we were going for the Sony EV. Was that correct? It was the same camera, but it had the capability to have different lenses, but it didn't come with a lens. And so I talked to my friend Elijah Galley. Shout out to you. He's probably watching this, so what's up? And he said, yeah, so there's the same exact camera, but it has a built-in lens, and the lens is actually pretty good. And so yeah, so I went online, Best Buy, and they had it was a used, but it was like someone bought it and returned it that same day.
Yeah. And
so it's basically brand new, and we got like $100 off. And yeah, so that's how the camera went. We thought about it, and then an hour we had it. So
yeah, it was actually really surprising. And then the rest of the stuff we ordered later that day came in within the next like week or so, and here we are.
Yeah, we actually just got the lights today. Came to my house just in time. That was really good.
Yep.
Yeah, so happy with everything. And this is all like pretty good equipment. Like the microphones, we only listened to it once, but the microphones sound pretty good in my opinion. Can't go wrong with the mic stands. I'm impressed by the. Is this a mixer? I guess you would call it.
I don't even know. Recording interface. I
think
that's
something
what
like that, and it's just
called, but yeah,
combining the microphone inputs, and that'll be exciting for when we have multiple guests.
Absolutely. And shout out to Travis for recommending it for us. Thank you very much for all your help with helping us get this together, because there's no way we could have done this without you. So if you're listening, if you're watching, thanks, man.
Yeah, we have no idea what we were doing. I'm excited to get into YouTube though.
Absolutely.
Because we were initially just on Spotify, and then this will be our first YouTube video. We tried recording. The reason we got a camera, we have cameras ourselves, but they're more photography cameras.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't record over 15 or in my case 20 minutes. And so we felt the need to get high quality recording camera with 0 recording limit. Yeah. So that's
I would
exciting.
say it's definitely a good investment. It's going to be worth it in the long run, because the 1 or 2 episodes we tried to film, the first time we didn't even realize there was a recording limit, and we got cut off at 12 minutes. And we were so frustrated. We thought our memory cards ran out, so we went and got new SD cards, but it wasn't even that. It was just our cameras couldn't do it. But now we should have no problems whatsoever with that. We're going to be all set.
Yeah. It was really good. So yeah, so YouTube. That's exciting.
It is, yeah.
Because I was talking to one of my friends about the podcast. He was like, "Hey, like, I mean, I don't really talk about it. I don't really bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
People bring it up to me sometimes." And I was just talking to him, and he said, "You know, I would really like to, um, like, listen to your podcast, but I really need to just see something."
Yeah.
And so I think it's really going to be really cool because I think there's a different audience.
Absolutely. And my dad was saying something similar. He was like, "You guys are both good-looking young men. We need to see your faces." I was like, "Dad, I can't afford that." But yeah, our parents were very generous and helped us out with all the purchases. So thank you to them. And yeah, we're excited to take it as far as we can and hopefully continue to create great content along the way.
Yeah, really excited for that, especially because I think the video is going to bring a whole new aspect to it, especially when we bring in guests.
Absolutely.
Because it'll expose us laughing. It'll expose basically everything behind the scenes. And as you guys know, we don't edit. And so that'll really show in these videos.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so, yeah. So like and subscribe. Wow.
Wow, yeah.
That's crazy. I've never thought I would say that in my life.
No, it's going to take some time to get used to. But here we are.
Yeah. So we'll be going. So currently we're in my house, in my study, but we'll probably be mobile. We'll go to Aiden's house, or if our guest, if it's like halfway, we'll just, if they have the space and their family allows it, we'll just go there. So yeah, this is more of a mobile setup. So you won't see this background everywhere, but the audio and the video will be the same because that's what it's supposed to do.
Yep, as long as we don't drop anything while we move it, it'll be
I was actually worried about that.
Yeah.
Because putting insurance on this stuff is probably double the price. Because this is some expensive stuff, especially that camera and that interface.
Yeah, but
yeah,
we'll be okay. We'll be gentle with it, and as soon as we get like an actual suitcase or bag, we'll be fine. So yeah, we'll manage that. But speaking of being mobile and going to different places, I think we have some really interesting new series coming up for the summer and continuing into the future.
Yeah, you can introduce it.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one, we're going to be introducing and interviewing entrepreneurs, people that start their own businesses, their own side hustles, basically anyone that's trying to make money in a sort of non-traditional way. And we have actually quite a few guests who've already reached out to us and said that they would love to come on the show and share their experience. And we're super excited. We're actually hoping to interview our first person later this week. So, yeah, really excited for that. Chris, do you want to introduce the next one?
Yeah, sure. So we're doing the entrepreneur series, and previously we've done interviews with college students and sort of exploring the different avenues and different majors within college. But we're going to go a step further, and we're going to interview professionals in different careers and also professors. And I think it's really important for these interviews to happen because students go into college and they expect a certain thing during college, but knowing what to expect after you graduate and once you're in a field, I think that's really important in making a decision of what you want to do with your life and what you want to major in.
Yeah, absolutely. Because hearing from students is one thing, because obviously you're going to have to go through what they're experiencing at the moment. But hearing from a professional, that's really going to be the deciding factor on whether or not you want to go into that field. And that's really the value that we're trying to provide. So I think that this is going to be a great series, not only for us to learn more, but hopefully for you guys, especially if you're considering going to college or switching majors or really just looking for what you want to do with your life. Hopefully we can help you figure that out.
And there's also for example, COVID, there's also a lot of things that have recently sort of been a conflict in getting experience in a job. Like I know for me, physician shadowing, that was almost impossible about a year ago.
Yeah.
And so if we interview these people, maybe people who don't have the opportunity to, let's say shadow a doctor or get an internship, they have the experience to know what the ins and outs of a career and more educated, not more an educated decision to go into a certain field. Yeah.
I haven't even thought about that, but that's a great point. That's Yeah, this should be great.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
also. Oh, sorry. You got it.
I was gonna say, I mean, the entrepreneurship one. That's the one I'm most excited for because I mentioned a few times I'm involved in my own startup, and like, I guess we could maybe consider this a startup at this point. But
I guess so. Yeah.
like this stuff just really excites me, really gets me going, and I'm so excited to hear from people that are really doing well in this space because you don't hear about them too often. A lot of times it's kind of kept under wraps, like the proper ways to do things. So I think if we bring some of this to light and really just hear some great stories, I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm also interested to ask our interviewees about their salary because I
Yes.
think it's sort of like an elephant in the room whenever you talk to someone about their career. It's like you don't really want to bring it up,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's important to
Absolutely.
have some. There's the salary transparency. There's this TikTok account. It's called Salary Transparent Street, and they just interview or just question these random people on the street, ask them what they do and how much they make. And I think I was really interested in that series, and I think that's really important in making an educated decision about what you want your career to be and what you want your future to look like.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be sure to include all those questions. If there's anything you guys want to hear about specifically, whether it's any sort of field, any profession, any questions you want us to ask, be sure to leave a comment or, yeah, just let one of us know if you have our info, and we'll be sure to include that for you.
DM us on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there's on Spotify you can type suggestions, or like I forget what it is exactly, but you can type it right on Spotify if that's how you're listening.
Yep.
And of course, YouTube comments. It's always
Mhm.
great. So yeah, so we just finished up our first year at Rowan University. So how about you tell us how your your last semester went?
Yeah, it went pretty well. Excuse me. Sorry. All A's and everything except for calc, which I was expecting, so I'm not super upset about it, but I'm just glad to be done because it was a very difficult and draining course. Everything else went really well. All my finals performed pretty well on. All of the long-term projects I did pretty good, and I feel like I really made a lot of good connections second semester. Really just got more into the college lifestyle and kind of just gave it my everything, which I didn't really do as much first semester. So I'm really glad for that, and I think that I'm really finding a home here at Rowan, and it's really been a great experience. And honestly, I'm really excited to see what the next 3 years hold because if it's going to continue in the same pattern, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, great. I just have a question. Do you have to take Calculus 3
Yeah, that's next semester.
next semester? Got it.
Yeah, that's not the end of math for me either. So
You have to take what? Linear algebra,
there's
differential.
yeah, linear algebra, differential equations, math for engineering analysis, and then like thermodynamics, statics, all that stuff,
Wow,
fluids. All yeah, it's yeah.
you got it. You'll be all right.
We'll see. We'll see. But how about you? How was your second semester?
Second semester went really well. I finished with all A's, and so for the first year, I got all A's first year.
That's awesome, man.
And so yeah, the finals weren't too bad. Going into chemistry, we take the ACS exam, which is a standardized exam, and you took the ACS exam for Chem 1, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a beast of a test. And I did pretty well in it. I went into the exam with a high A, so I felt comfortable with it, whatever score I received.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting an 85 on it. And I think that was pretty good,
Yeah.
especially for that ACS exam. But yeah, so overall, that's how chemistry went. Biology was just similar to first semester. Wasn't too worried about that, and I was worried about my public speaking final though,
You were telling
because
me about that
yeah,
one.
because my midterm for that class was a little misleading in a way, and so I was a little worried about going into that one, but I did well on it, so I ended
Nice.
with an A, of course.
Glad to hear it.
And then calculus, I was also worried about that, but similarly to chemistry, I had a high enough grade in order to like have a little bit of wiggle room, and so I ended up doing well on that. But definitely nervous for next semester. Not nervous, but I just want to keep the high grades. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to get involved even more in school And so it's just got to try to find that balance. But
yeah,
I think it's doable.
Absolutely, yeah. And I guess for those of you who haven't heard our show before on Spotify, I'm a mechanical engineering major with a minor in math. Chris?
I'm a molecular and cellular biology major and minor in chemistry. And I'm also on the pre-med track. So
yeah, so I guess if you guys would like to hear more in-depth bio episodes on us, we have one on our Spotify account. You could check that out. Or if you would rather hear one with some video, just let us know, and we could definitely set that up.
Yeah, maybe we can redo it because we were talking about how our initial video was literally in my dorm room, and those were those videos. Mm-hmm. And so maybe we will do another biography video.
Yeah. And the rest of our videos we were talking about importing to YouTube with just like a picture background. We have some pretty good stories. I think we have 9 interviews, and I think we would really like to share that information as much as possible, and it would be great to bring it onto YouTube. So it's not going to be maybe as enjoying as seeing us here, but it's definitely some good content that we can get out here for you too. So
yeah, and even right now, if we haven't posted yet, you can still check us out on Spotify. I'm sure there's like a whole brand new random audience. Mm-hmm. Like I remember looking back to our Spotify analytics, we have like there was like one 65-year-old. And I think like that sort of random user, that'll be even expanded to like YouTube. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if you want to catch up on what we've done so far, check out our Spotify, but we should be posting those on YouTube as well.
Absolutely. I guess that pretty much covers what we had planned for today. So
yeah. So yeah, like we mentioned, we're doing different series in the future, near future. And so look out for those. And yeah, we sort of just wanted to introduce YouTube and talk about the end of the semester and our new setup. And so, yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Check out the Spotify, and we will see you guys hopefully very soon.
Thanks.
That was pretty good. That looks good.